Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing good. I was busy with the travels lately, so I couldn't post a new video, but here I am back. This week's video is about the beginner's guide to the carnivorous plants. And if you are curious about growing these bug-eating plants and how to take care of them at home, this is a perfect place to start with. And I'll be talking about some popular varieties like Venus Flytraps, Nepenthes, Sundews and Pinguiculas. I'll be sharing you the tips and tricks of how to take care of these plants at home. Let's get started. How to start your collection. Begin with the easy to care for plants like Venus Flytrap, Sundew capensis or a Pinguicula. So these plants adapt well to the indoor setup and also they are forgiving when you make any minor mistakes. Here are the 4 essentials to remember when you start with your carnivorous plant journey. It is pot, soil, water and light. Talking about the pot, we need to use a plastic pot or a glass coated ceramic pot. We should not use a clay or a terracotta pot which will leach in minerals into the substrate and it will harm the carnivorous plants. Talking about the soil, we need to use a nutrient poor soil mix for the carnivorous plant. They thrive in the nutrient poor soil mix and they need a yari mix. So I use 2 part peat moss and 1 part perlite for the substrate for most of my carnivorous plants. And as alternative to peat moss, we can use sphagnum moss, which is little expensive. And you should not use a regular garden soil mix as they contain nutrient in it. It will be harmful for the carnivorous plant. Water. These plants need RO water, rainwater or a distilled water. So you cannot use a tap water which is very harmful. It contains minerals in it and it will affect the carnivorous plant roots. So when I started my journey, I started using this distilled water for 2 of my carnivorous plants. It is Venus Flytrap and a Sundew. That is what I started with. And this contains 0 ppm. Later on, when I increased my carnivorous plants collection, I started using this can water. This is RO water which I get it from a local shop. You can check the ppm of this water using this TDS meter. And when I checked, it was less than 20 ppm. So I started using this RO water. Also, if you are using a rainwater, make sure it is collected directly through a rain. You should not collect the rainwater through a roof. It might leach in minerals because of the dust particle on the roof. So always check the ppm of water for the plant safety using this TDS meter. Light. Carnivorous plants thrive in the bright indirect sunlight. If you are growing your carnivorous plants outdoors, make sure they are getting 6 to 8 hours of indirect sunlight. And if you are growing them indoors, you should provide them with a full spectrum grow light. And since this is a beginner's guide, you can start with this small LED grow light. This is a fish tank grow light. I got it from Amazon. You can use it for up to 2 to 3 plants when you start your carnivorous plant journey. And other things required are TDS meter. As I mentioned earlier, you can check the water's TDS level before using it. And a tweezer to pull off all the old leaves or dead traps. And for repotting, it will be much required one. And a scissor to trim off old leaves, old dead traps or pitchers. You need to make sure to sterilize it before using and after using it. And a name tag to identify the plant later when your collection gets increased, you might need it. And the marker to write their name. And the last thing is you should need a tray or a cup in which you can keep your carnivorous plant and you can fill in water up to 1 inch. So make sure they are drained completely before rewatering. That is how you can maintain your carnivorous plants watering. Common beginner's mistakes. Here is what not to do. Don't use fertilizer to your plant as they get their nutrient from their prey. And don't overwater your plant. It should be damp but not soggy. And never ever feed your carnivorous plant with a human food. And don't overfeed them. It might end up in rot. So I began my journey with this carnivorous plant. This is B52 variety of Venus Flytrap, and this is my first plant. I got it from Jiffy Plants. So it is still thriving and it is getting sized up. And the second plant is a Sundew Adelaide, which is in my back part. Maybe I'll share you the pic of how the plant is now. Let me give you a brief about all these 4 carnivorous plant varieties. So this is a Venus Flytrap. As their name suggests, they have their traps to catch their insect or prey. They have 3 trigger hairs in each side of their leaves or traps. Using that mechanism, when the insect touches the trigger hair twice within 20 seconds, they will close shut over the prey or insect, and they release their digestive enzyme to digest their prey. So that is how they catch their prey and digest them. And I'll be keeping them over a tray of water with 1 inch from bottom. And talking about Pinguiculas, they need a rocky soil mix since they grow on mountains where it is very rocky and nutrient poor environment. So I have used substrate like vermiculite, pumicestone, perlite and peat moss. So this is a mix for Pinguiculas, and I have topped the layer with pumicestone. They have dew drops all over their leaves, and using that they catch their fungus net and other tiny insects, and using that dew drops they will catch their prey and they will get the digestive enzyme over their leaves. So that is how they digest their prey. And this is Nepenthes. This is the only plant which I follow the top watering method, and this plant forms a pitcher as part of their leaf, and using that pitcher they trap their prey and digestive liquids are inside their pitchers. So using that they digest their prey and take nutrients out of it. This is a Drosera capensis albo, and this plant has a tiny granular hair around its leaves, and using that hair this plant catches the fruit flies and other mosquitoes like small insects, and the leaves curl around its prey and the enzymes digest it to absorb the nutrients. That is how this plant digests its prey. So this is a cool plant. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Hope I inspired you to start your own carnivorous plant adventure. Do check out my other YouTube videos for detailed care guide about carnivorous plants. If I can do it, you can do it too. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more such plant contents. Let's grow together. See you on next video guys. Bye.